Last week, Congress passed the Paycheck Fairness Act, a bill to close loopholes created through the Equal Pay Act of 1963. Our Malik Rankin spoke to the Human Resources Director at the state's largest private employer to learn how they combat the gender pay gap.
The median earnings ratio for women is still 80 cents on the dollar that men make. For North Dakota, we fall just below the national average at 79%. I talked with HR at Sanford Health on the steps they take to ensure fair salaries.
To understand how you can negotiate to get the best rate of pay, the most competitive, is going to be impactful to females all around.
Leah Kelsch is the executive director of Human Resources. She says each time Sanford takes on a new hire, an equity analysis is done to make sure the pay is fair.
We look at within the department to ensure that that wage is equitable. So they're falling within the same amount of experience, they're falling within that same range of pay.
Through the Paycheck Fairness Act, it prohibits retaliation against workers who inquire about their employer's wage practices or disclose with their own wages. It requires employers to explain that differences in wage are not based on sex, and it provides negotiation skills training for women.
I think it's just sometimes an uncomfortable topic to talk about, especially if you're just getting hired.
Kelly Reinhardt is a Sanford employee. She previously worked at a long-term care facility as well as Sanford's competing hospital.
So I came from a long-term care facility, so there normally the pay is a little bit higher than a hospital clinic setting. So I did negotiate a little bit, and I felt that they were really fair in that aspect. And obviously I'm working here and I've been super satisfied since.
At Sanford Health, 77% of employees are female and 70% of leadership positions are held by women, lessening the issue of a pay gap.
It's not so much competing against gender, it's more so competing against our other competitors, right?
According to the U.S. Department of Labor, the national gender pay gap has actually worsened in the past few years. It was at its highest ratio pay at 82.5% in 2014. Analysts expect the playing field won't be level for women until 2058. Reporting for KX News, I'm Malik Rankin.
The Paycheck Fairness Act was not a bipartisan effort. The final vote was 242 to 187, with only 7 Republicans giving it a green light. Still to come, a rare world boxing title fight is coming to North Dakota. You're going to find out